What hurts more than cheating? When they still love you, but still leave. Not because they stopped caring, not because they replaced you, not because they got bored, but because something bigger than love stood between you. Have you ever lost someone who still wanted you, and maybe you wanted them too? Someone who still looked at you the same way, still laughed at your jokes, still imagined a future with you, still talked about one day, and yet they chose to walk away. That kind of heartbreak does not explode. It does not give you a villain. It doesn't give you anger to hold on to. It just leaves you confused. Because how do you hate someone who didn't lie to you? How do you move on when nothing was broken? How do you accept that the love was real, but it still wasn't enough? This is not the kind of story where you say, they did me dirty. This is the kind where you sit alone at night and think, we were good, so what went wrong? Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Hushi, and if you're new here, I just sit down, turn on the mic, and talk about the things we don't really say out loud. No filters, no villains, just feelings. Tonight's episode is a little heavy. Not dramatic, not angry, just heavy in a quiet way. It's about something I think a lot of us have experienced but don't know how to explain properly. It's about losing someone who still loves you, or maybe loving someone who still loves you back, but still watching it end. I've always thought that cheating was the worst kind of heartbreak, but there's something that hurts even more. This video is not about dramatic love. It's not about someone choosing another person over you. It's about something much harder to accept. It's about when two people love each other, but their lives don't align. And nobody is wrong. Nobody cheated or lied. Nobody played games. You both showed up honestly. But honesty does not automatically create compatibility. That's a part nobody prepared you for. We grow up thinking that love fixes everything. But love does not erase different life goals, different timelines, values, and different definitions of home. You can deeply care about someone and still not fit into the same future. And that doesn't make the love fake, it makes the reality uncomfortable. Sometimes the problem is not emotional connection, it's structural alignment. One of you wants to settle right now, while the other one wants to explore. One wants marriage soon, the other wants time. One dreams of building a life in another country, the other cannot imagine leaving family. None of these are small things. They are identity level decisions. And you can't compromise identity without consequence. That's why this kind of breakup feels so unfair because there is no explosion, no betrayal, no clear reason you can blame. It's just two good people standing at a fork in the road, both wanting the other but walking in different directions. Okay, now I will explain why this hurts so much. I think this kind of ending hurts more than cheating because when someone cheats, you know what you have to do next. Like, you get angry, you tell yourself you deserve better, you block them, and you move forward. But when someone still loves you, when they are crying too, when they say, I wish this worked, when they still look at you the same way, what are you even supposed to do with that? You can't even hate them. You can't say they didn't care because they did. And that's what makes it harder. It's confusing when the love is still there, when the hugs still feel safe, when the laughter still feels natural, when nothing feels broken between you, and yet you both know something is off, not in the hurt, but in the future. You sit there thinking, if we love each other, why can't we just make it work? And the truth is, sometimes making it work means someone has to shrink. Someone has to give up something important. Someone has to live a life they didn't dream of. And love should not require that kind of sacrifice. It hurts because you were not rejected. You were chosen emotionally. They didn't leave you because you were not enough. They left because the life they wanted did not match yours. And that's a different kind of pain. It's quiet, it's heavy, and it lingers. Well, now it's time for those unsent words which we never said. So let me read something which is not dramatic, not angry, just something I think a lot of us carry inside. Hi, I don't think we failed. I think we loved each other in the only way we knew how. You were not wrong. I wasn't wrong. We just wanted different versions of the future. And I wish love was enough to fix that. I wish we could have chosen each other without choosing against ourselves. Because that's what it felt like in the end. Like staying meant one of us would slowly disappear. I never doubted that you cared. I saw it in the way you listened, in the way you held my hand, in the way you still looked at me like I mattered. That's why this is so hard. Because I can tell myself you didn't love me. You did. But we just did not fit into the same tomorrow. I hope the life you're choosing right now feels right. I hope it feels honest. I hope it feels like you. And I hope one day when we think about each other, it won't feel like a loss. Just like two people who met at the right heart, but the wrong season. I don't regret us. I just wish the timing had been kinder. And maybe that's all I needed to say. Not to change anything, not to bring you back. Just to let the words exist somewhere outside my chest. Because sometimes closure is not a conversation, it's just admitting the truth quietly. We loved, it mattered, and still, it wasn't meant to last. And that's okay. If you're listening to this right now and you're thinking about someone, I want you to hear this clearly. You were not too much. You were not enough. You were not hard to love. Sometimes two people can love each other deeply and still not be able to build a life together. That doesn't mean the love was fake. It just means that love is only one part of a future. I know it's confusing because when someone stops loving you, your heart understands the ending. But when someone still loves you and still leaves, your mind keeps asking, what if we tried harder? What if we waited? What if I changed? What if they changed? But love should never require you to shrink. You shouldn't have to become smaller so someone else can stay. You shouldn't have to give up your dreams just to hold on to a person. And maybe the bravest kind of love is the one where you let each other go before resentment grows, before sacrifices turn into silent anger, before one of you wakes up years later feeling trapped. It hurts now. Of course it does. You're not grieving betrayal. You're grieving potential. You're grieving love. You're grieving the what could have been. And that's one of the hardest things to let go of. But one day, you will look back and realize that love wasn't wasted. It taught you what you value, it showed you what you need, it made you clearer about your own future. And clarity is not a loss, it's alignment. Maybe the truth is this: love does not disappear just because timing failed. Sometimes it just simply changes shape. And maybe the bravest thing two people can do is let each other grow without holding each other back. I'm not saying we'll meet again. I'm not promising destiny. I'm not holding on to some dramatic right person, wrong time fantasy. But I do believe this: if two people are truly aligned, life does not need to be forced. Growth brings clarity, and clarity brings the right people back or forward. So if we ever cross paths again, I hope we meet as stronger versions of ourselves. Not because we were waiting, but because we kept moving. And if we don't, then at least we loved honestly. And we walked away without breaking each other. You don't need to hold the door open. Just leave it unlocked in your heart and keep walking. Whoever is right for you won't require you to shrink. They won't require you to pause your life. They'll meet you where you're becoming. And until then, grow. Not to prove anything, just because you deserve a life that feels aligned. And that's all for tonight. If this felt a little too close to home, just know you're not the only one trying to understand a love that didn't turn into a forever. Take your time with it. Don't rush your feelings. Don't rush your healing. Don't rush your growth. Just let yourself feel things without judging them. Thank you for sitting with me, for listening, for sharing this quiet space. If you're still here till the end, I appreciate you more than you know. I'll meet you again soon. Same mic, same late night honesty. Until then, take care of your heart and let it grow. Good night.